Hi, this is James Shrug with Westpac London's End of Day report for Wednesday, the 10th of July. Well, there wasn't much news on the economics front today. We did have the downgrade by one of the ratings agencies of Italy, triple B now. That's just 2 notches above junk status, 1 notch higher than the current rating for Spain. Italy's on negative outlook too. So we've had Italian politicians talking about winding back some of the austerity measures that were put in place by the previous Monti government. The markets have been a little bit nervous about Italy for a while, and I think the rating agencies are simply catching up with that concern that the new administration is struggling to keep in place the sorts of budget arrangements that will be consistent with Italy continuing to meet its budget deficit reduction obligations or requirements, such that it can continue to access financial markets. The Portuguese government's holding together. That seems to be that crisis there seems to have moved on. Greece has got its latest bailout payment signed off, but on a cash-on-delivery basis. In other words, Greece has to deliver in terms of public servant cuts, spending cuts, asset sales, for it to continue to receive further bailout funds. The situation in Greece, we think, is unsustainable, and we're waiting for the German elections to be out of the way in September before we see a more decisive development in relation to the Greek debt issue. More on that to come, I'm sure. We've got the earnings season underway in the US, so that's a focus for markets. We've got the Fed minutes to their last meeting coming out in a few hours' time. Remember, there were 2 dissenters at the last meeting, one favouring maintenance of the current purchases of assets to the tune of $85 billion a month, and one arguing that they needed to be pulled back more quickly. So there will be a range of views expressed by those ministers. It'll be interesting to see which of those the market focuses on. We've got Aussie jobs data coming up Thursday, Australia time. We're looking for a 15,000 fall in employment and a slight uptick in unemployment to 5.6%. But really that's about it today to report. I'll give you some numbers. The London market just ahead of the close, down 0.5%. French market down 1/3%. So the UK market down 0.3%. French market down 1/4%. The Germans off 0.1%. Spain down 1/3%, and the Italian market off about 0.75% today. The Dow at the moment's down just 0.15% at 15,277. Commodity markets have seen a bit of movement. We've got oil prices up almost 2% today at $105.45 a barrel. There's a 0.6% rise in the gold price to $1,253 an ounce, and copper prices a little changed. The other factor worth mentioning too, Chinese trade figures showed both weaker exports and imports, and that's just created this niggling concern again that the Chinese economy might underperform against already substantially downgraded expectations, and that's a factor that's been underpinning some negative sentiment in markets today as well. The Aussie dollar, it's at 91.5 US cents at the moment. It peaked earlier today at 92.25, but as I say, it's down around 0.75% from that intraday high. All right, that's it for today. I'll be back again tomorrow.